Alright, I think we're live now. I think. Kept losing the internet connection, so I had to go off my PC and use the laptop. So basically,
thank goodness you're IT.
Basically, if we lose connection, I apologize, and we will just do this another day. I don't know why my computer keeps losing its connection. I'm actually gonna go on my phone, make sure we're live.
Make sure you're looking sexy.
Okay, I think we're live.
We are.
Creative Pause is in here. What's up, bro? How many people? We had like 100 and some people in here. Now we only got 24. So I'm just gonna let
people join us. Give it a minute.
let people join.
Give them a moment.
Everybody say hi. Creative Pause. I would never spay or neuter. I have some videos up. I'm gonna pull them up and I'll screen share a few videos for you. Sorry, I can't multitask. Maybe Kara can multitask while I do this. Never spay, neuter.
Sure.
Want to just let them know what we're going to talk about?
Today's topic, Jason and I thought we would talk a bit about some of the hormonal changes that can occur, can be a bit problematic.
Screen share still? Okay, sorry guys. Didn't mean that.
Arthur, can you hear us? There should be audio.
Okay. So, could anybody not hear anything that? Arthur, you there? Can you hear me?
Tina says she's got us maxed out on her phone and we sound like a mouse. It happens every live stream.
Let me turn up the audio. How's that, Tina? That better?
How we sounding?
We there? Okay, cool. Try using the headphones, Tina. That would probably help. So, right now it's called, we're coming up with names. So the Canine Companion PawedCast with the Corys live. What are you pointing at?
Camera. Just remember to talk into the camera.
I gotta read what I'm looking at though.
Okay.
Or Doggy Style with the Corys. What podcast name do you like better? Let us know in the comments. Can you do a poll here? Can we do a poll? Let me see.
That I don't know how.
Let me see. Let me see if I can do a poll for you guys.
We are loud and clear, they say now.
Okay.
You want me to ask my phone? Hey Google?
No. I'm not going to mess with that. But if I can get in it now, and I can go, can I do a poll? Edit video, share. I'm going to thumbs up my own video. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Is there an option for a poll? Let's see, engage with your audience. Start a poll.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good to know.
So you can handle that.
What did we,
Podcast names, and just give them the 2. What? And you guys can vote on this. So we figured this was a perfect time to talk about hormonal changes in our dog because Justice is going through hormonal changes. He's 18 months now, so I mean, he's past puberty, but this is when those hormones really like start to kick in. And being springtime and everything mating in the area, it was extremely evident. The Canine Companion, here, I'll do it.
Okay.
Let me just do it quick. You can keep talking about springtime and what they're smelling.
So recently, once we got into the spring weather, we have a deck in our backyard, and there's definitely, we believe, some bunny action going on under the deck. We believe maybe Mama Bunny was making some babies under there, because it was evident both Bruce and Justice were heavily smelling around that area. And interestingly enough, around that same time, they both started acting weird. Justice weirder than Bruce, probably due to his age, his maturity level. But Bruce was kind of picking up on that a bit as well.
Bruce used to go way harder than he does now. Like, if Bruce smelled a dog in heat, for example, when he was around Justice's age, he wouldn't eat for like 5 days.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
Yeah.
He wouldn't eat. He was in. He was out. He was crying. He was whining. It was like, what's going on with Bruce? Like, we weren't sure at first because it was the first dog that we kept intact. We've had dogs our whole life, but they've always been spay or neutered because the info that's out there now about how much it can damage your dog, that wasn't around back then. Mm-hmm. So with all this new information, all these new studies coming to light, we said, okay, let's not neuter Bruce unless we absolutely have to for some like medical reason, and the same with Justice. So Bruce stopped eating, wouldn't listen. So for example, if he went to daycare and they had a dog in heat there that he smelled, like it was like 2 to 3 weeks of him acting crazy. So I wouldn't let him off leash. I was always extremely careful with him just because he wasn't as responsive. So Justice is now, well, not now, he's past that, but what, a month or so ago?
Yeah.
About a month ago, we started going through that. I'm not sure if there was a dog in heat in the area, if he was just smelling another animal in heat. So that's what we're going to talk about, like his hormonal changes.
People are saying they have static issues.
Static issues? Let me see if everything's plugged in good.
Are you guys getting static when I talk or when Jason talks or just in general?
We're having all sorts of issues today. It's annoying. And so we're going to go over that really quick, and then we'll answer questions. Feel free to donate in the donation section if you want. It's definitely not needed, but it's always appreciated. Okay.
Make sure you vote on the podcast name, and there's 47 of you watching, so we should have at least 47
thumbs up
on that video.
So both dogs that we have are intact. They're both males, and you could really see, I don't want to say tension between the two, but there is weirdness between the two. Mm-hmm. So they were both smelling something in heat. I think we had rabbits mating under our deck because they would go to the deck. They would literally just either be laying on the deck all day. That's all they wanted to do. They'd just be smelling like the wood, like the gaps, and they'd be drooling. So most likely there was something in heat mating under there, rabbit, fox, who knows. But it was highly impacting Justice, and it was impacting Bruce. So to get like around each other, they just didn't really want to be around each other. Yeah. They were just weird. So we were keeping an extra eye on them. They weren't like aggressive towards each other or anything like that, but you could tell there was tension. So we just kept an eye on them. And then how long did it take to pass? A month?
Probably a month.
Probably about a month till it passed. So we noticed they didn't want to play. Like they literally stopped playing. Like normally in the morning they just go and play. They stopped playing. They're typically just want to be by each other, or at least Justice always wants to be by Bruce, and Justice really just kind of wanted to be left alone, like on his own. Justice's appetite didn't drop as much as Bruce Wayne's did when Bruce Wayne was this age, but it definitely decreased. Yeah. He wasn't eating as much. Same issues, wanting in and out. What else was he doing? Whining, crying, howling. Like, he didn't know what to do with his life. Now, compared to last spring, because he wasn't maturing yet, those hormones weren't there.
True.
At all. He was just like a normal puppy.
True.
So...
Can I go check this out on my phone?
Yeah, why are people complaining about the sound? Okay, give us a second. Is the static bad? I wonder if it's our internet connection. Kara. Because we're having like, the internet keeps dropping. Let me see here how it sounds. Let me turn up my phone. Because we're having like, the internet keeps dropping. Kara, there's no static. They're hearing like, you guys are hearing the AC and the fan on the computer. That's not static. Kara, there's no static. They're hearing the... Kara, that's they're hearing the fan. So I can either turn down.
I shut my mic off.
I can either I'll turn down the decibels on the mic.
I hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
But it got better when I shut my mic off. That's why I'm wondering if it's my mic.
Let me see. How's it now? It sucks that we can't like monitor it. In the How's it now? It sucks that we can't like monitor it. I wonder if you like fucking up carrying though. We're not careful with the wires. That ain't what you doing?
I don't know.
I know that ain't doing nothing. It's not a Nintendo. It's not a Super Nintendo cartridge or Nintendo. It's not a Super Nintendo cartridge. Or Nintendo.
I just wanted to see if it was one mic or the other.
Is it still there? We're gonna lose all our people watching. We're gonna lose all our people. Okay, that is your mic. Hold on. Okay, that is your mic. Hold on. Okay, that is your mic. Okay, we're just trying to figure this out.
I don't know. It sounded like it was still there, but it did kind of sound worse when mine was on.
So. Hold on a second.
It sounded like it was still there, but it did kind of sound worse when mine was on.
You're talking in my mic, that's right. So. Hold on a second.
It sounded like it was still there, but it did kind of sound worse when mine was on.
Just use this. Sorry guys. How is it now? Just use this. And I'm gonna turn this really quick. Sorry guys, I gotta change something on here. Test, test. Okay.
I think it jinxed us.
How is it now, guys?
Testing.
How is it now, guys?
Testing. I'm a jinx, so it's probably my. Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, we need backup ones.
No, we don't. Okay, we good now? Okay, good.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay. I'm all thrown off now. I don't even know where I was.
Let's mute this, huh?
Yeah, mute that. Oh, shoot. And now I... Okay, now I lost that. I hate life right now. Let's go here.
Sorry, guys.
I'm just going here.
All right.
I'm going to do this so I can see us in real time. We have nothing but like computer.
Appreciate you sticking around. This stuff is not easy to set up. It's
annoying.
Really stressful, and I've had to try to do it on my own when Jason wasn't here, and I panicked because it's really, really hard, and a lot can go wrong versus go right. So
Yeah, and a lot of the times it's out of our control. Okay. So to basically, shit, Justice, when did Justice come in here?
he joined us.
Basically to just make sure there's no issues with the dogs. We always had like a lot of eyes on them while Justice was going through. Justice, go lay down. No, I don't want you standing there. I'm going to trip on you. Go lay down. Eyes on the dogs, you know, when they're eating, just we had eyes on them because Justice was more testy. Bruce, Justice, go lay down.
You want to swap so you can stand on that?
Yeah. Bruce didn't know what to do. He was like, he was weird because Justice was weird.
Yeah.
Just everybody, it was just a weird situation. And I don't like to see my desk. Let me see. Okay. And now I got to go through here to look at questions. I'm sorry guys, this live usually are much better than this, but now I'm all thrown off. Okay. So what else could we talk about with this? Because now I'm like completely lost my train of thought.
So with the hormonal stuff with like JJ picking up on, I think, a female, and he definitely was acting quite a bit different. He seems snappier, and
Yes.
Bruce was aware of that. So even Bruce got a little bit close to his plate one day. JJ doesn't normally growl or put off any vibes, but he definitely was like kind of like side-eyeing him and didn't want him near his plate, which is fine, but he was definitely quicker to react in that moment than he ever would. Normally he just kind of does his own thing. So he was way quicker to react to Bruce, and Bruce was aware of that, so Bruce almost took note of that.
And it's like, all right,
and
I'm staying away from you, bro.
He kind of didn't even want to look at him or get
Well,
too close
usually
to him.
that's like a sign of like dogs shouldn't be looking at each other like that. The
Yeah.
dog shouldn't do this to another dog.
Yeah.
That means I want to fight you.
They didn't even
Dogs
make
should
eye
never do.
contact, though.
Dogs should never do this to another dog and just
Yeah.
stare at their face. Usually, like a dog, will just kind of like, if you're walking a dog, for example, another one, just locking eyes is never really a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, it's just kind of like keep looking straight or just not give direct eye contact. So Bruce would just walk by Justice and like just not do act like the perfect canine companion like he should, essentially. He was not doing anything wrong. He wasn't like scared. He was
No.
just basically respecting Justice's space,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Somebody said congratulations, lady.
Thank you. They also weren't wanting to play with each other as much. Like
Yeah,
their
that's
play wasn't the same.
Yeah, they weren't playing in the morning. They wanted to play with us, but just not each other.
Yeah.
And it was like the same. It was almost the same with Bruce too when he was that age and going through the same thing. Like he just lost interest in play, and it's like they don't know what to do
Yeah.
because they don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Right now at 6, Bruce is like, okay, he's not normal when he smells like something in heat.
Yeah.
But he's not as
It's not as drastic.
it's not as extreme as it used to be. Like it used to be like I said, wouldn't eat for 5 days, and then when he would eat, it was like barely eating.
Super picky. Pickier than normal.
Super picky. Didn't want. It was weird. Same with Justice. They don't even want cooked food.
Yeah.
For some reason, they would not want to eat raw food. They just want cooked food through that stage.
That's true.
So have Justice eat. Just if you guys are raw feeders, you can always try cooking your dog's food. It's still a lot better than kibble. I mean, you are killing off some of those nutrients and stuff, but it's still a much better option.
Yeah.
Like I said, it lasted 3 to 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden, Justice was more attached to Bruce, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And Bruce seems more accepting. I mean, he's been accepting for a very long time of Justice, but now, what happened since then?
They cuddled.
They've actually been cuddling.
Legitimately.
Like,
and
before, if Justice did this to Bruce, Bruce would be like, okay, I'm going to move.
Bruce would look at him and then he'd move.
He'd move. Now, Justice, like, lays on Bruce, and Bruce just keeps
Doesn't
on
think
sleeping.
twice about it.
So it's weird that that weird hormonal stage where it's like, they weren't, like, fighting, they weren't, like, aggressive, so I don't want to, like, misinterpret that, anything like that.
There was just a weirdness.
It was like a weirdness about them.
Yeah.
So we were way more strict with dogs because of anytime there's like a weirdness, like we don't allow weirdness. Like if, for example, if Justice is staring at Bruce, it'd be like a loud hey, you know, what are you doing? That's don't be staring at him like that. That's not cool dog behavior. Don't do it. Just to snap him out of it. We were way more strict with the commands. I was telling her to not be on the floor cuddling with Justice. I'm like, no coddling Justice, just no, like, kissing his butt, basically.
Yeah.
You know, he has to earn every little thing. We're way more strict on their drills. Like, you have to, we say sit, you got to sit right now. It's like, there's no, like, second-guessing things.
Right.
So that's kind of how we always handled the stages with Bruce and now Justice. And hormonal changes are going to always happen because even if you spay or neuter your dog, you really shouldn't do it until after they've been through puberty because that can even lead to more issues. So don't rush it if you do go that route.
We do have one question about that. You want me to read it off?
Sure.
Michelle Conway asks, I have 2 bully breeds and one is more active than the other, so we're having to get him neutered. I'm hoping it settles him down. My boys are 3 and 2. Am I doing the right thing?
Michelle, I would have to say no. You're not doing the right thing because if you're doing it to settle them down, I've seen dogs become more hyper. I've seen dogs become extremely, like, complete opposite where they're just, like, lose all that vitality and energy. I've seen dogs that were aggressive. I've seen them become less aggressive. I've seen them become more aggressive. And it can cause a lot of health issues. So I'm going to screen share really quick. What the studies talk about, because a lot of vets they tell you want to spay or neuter your dog. You want to neuter your dog because they can get prostate cancer. Well, prostate cancer is extremely curable, where they don't tell you that the risk of bone cancer increases. That's just one cancer risk that increases. Your dog gets bone cancer, it's a death sentence. They don't tell you all the other risks that come along with spaying or neutering your dog. Think about if you had no hormones in your body. Hormones help you sleep, they help you grow, they help your mood, you know. When your hormones are like where they should be, they make you feel good. Remove all of those, you're not going to feel good. And unfortunately, dogs can't speak English, so they can't tell you, I feel like crap now.
Yeah.
So just a lot to consider. Just don't just take my word on it at all.
Yeah.
I always tell people you got to do what's right for you in your situation.
Right.
But definitely don't just go in with a blind eye thinking it's going to fix everything, because you may end up with regrets in that case. How do I scroll this? Oh, it's over here, right? Okay, that's throwing me off.
I know.
So yeah, just do all your research. Check out those videos. I have links to the research articles in there. They'll help you out a lot. And that's also why I won't get, if we ever got like a third Corso, it'd be a male. Everyone's like, why don't you get a female? It's like, no way in the world I would have 2 males and a female.
That'd be mean.
Now you're gonna, no, that's not mean. Now you're gonna have fights. Now these 2 dogs, these 2 male dogs are going to, when she goes into heat, are going to fight for that female.
Right. That's what I was thinking. That's
Okay.
what I was saying. It would be mean.
So, like, everyone's like, oh, if you get a third course, would you get a female? Like, no, males only. Males only in this house, so that she's the only female.
Just FYI, we lose sound when we screen share, so we'll wait on that.
Oh, we
again.
do? Okay. I can do it like this, I guess. That's why I put it over here. I don't know why, even though it still shows our mic, I can do it like this, I guess. Can you guys hear me? Let me know when I screen share this if you can hear me, just testing it out. If I screen share this way, if it helps.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but even when you go ahead and get your dog neutered or spayed, it doesn't necessarily end humping if your dog is a humper. Correct? Or
yeah, because
would it? Because
no, because a lot of times humping's not a sexual thing.
Right,
A lot of
it's
times
just
it's like a
behavioral?
dominant thing. Like
okay.
a lot of times female dogs hump male dogs. Like I'm the alpha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hump you.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask that because I know my sister was even bringing that up recently with Norman because he humps a lot, and she even said she knows if she gets him taken care of, he's probably still going to hump because that's what he's been allowed to do.
Yeah, that comes down to like lack of obedience and like establishing her leadership.
Yeah.
Where the dog's kind of confused and like, who's the leader? I'm the leader. I'm gonna hump you. You know, most likely, I'm guessing in that case. Okay, I'm gonna scroll. Do we have anything else to cover about the hormonal changes? I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention because Justice is going through hormonal changes right now.
No, just that I think he has gotten through it, and now it's, interestingly enough, it just seems that him and Bruce are even closer
and tighter
than before. The relationship, while it got weird for a minute due to that, it seems that it brought them together. And now they're a lot closer. I don't know if there's a mutual respect, understanding for what just occurred.
Or if because Justice kind of like, he's not an adult still. He's still an adolescent for about another year and a half. But I wonder if because he's a little bit more past that puppy stage, if Bruce just senses that, smells it, the hormones he can smell. He's like, now he's like, okay, you're becoming now more one of me.
That's the other thing, the smelling I just want to touch on with the hormonal changes.
They kept smelling each other. I kept stopping it. Like, they go smell each other's faces. I'd be like, no, stop.
Like, nonstop. And it's not to say they don't smell each other.
And they're both doing it.
Nonstop, whereas, like, one would smell each other from face to butt, and then
and
vice versa.
The butt thing's fine. I'm fine with the butt smell.
No, I'm just
but
saying,
when you're going up and you're smelling the dog's face like
he
this,
would go all over the
like,
face and then work his way down the body, and then they'd swap, and the other one would smell
and
the
usually,
other one.
I was telling her, usually if a dog just goes up and smells another dog's face, that's like weird. That's usually a dog that's not socialized with other dogs, which is not the case for our dogs. Like, our dogs are very socialized with, we bring them to daycare, they're around a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Or they used to be around a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
We don't bring them as much anymore.
Yeah.
Still bring them, just not as much.
Yeah.
So I wasn't allowing that behavior. There was like a lot of behaviors I weren't allowing. I was like, just stop it, just because I don't want problems. And it's always about seeing a potential problem and stopping it before it happens.
Being ahead of it.
It's like I was saying, if they're kind of like looking at each other weird, I would just loud hey, just to break them out of it, just stop it before it happens.
Yeah. Don't even give the opportunity.
Yep.
And you're so good at seeing that. You've gotten me better at seeing those signs and knowing when to, really pay attention to that stuff and stop it before it becomes a problem. I think that's a really good point, because that's something I would have never previously done if it wasn't for Jason's training style and leadership that I've learned from him. So it's made me more aware of just thinking bigger picture and thinking about the dogs overall and trying to have their best interest in mind, even when there isn't a problem right in that moment, but thinking ahead about it, which is, it's tough to do.
Yeah.
It's easily overlooked.
It is. I'm always aware that we have 2 males that are intact that are very strong and powerful.
Could do massive damage.
I never forget that fact, ever.
Yeah.
And I'm always reminding her. I'm like, don't forget what they're capable of.
It's a good reminder, because you would think, well, how can you forget that? But you easily can when you're lovey-dovey with the dogs and you're with them all the time. You get desensitized to things. Any of us can get desensitized to anything in our daily life.
And I'm a big person on not being lovey-dovey with the dogs all the time. Where if she just had the dogs, well, not now. If you just raised a Connie horse on your own, you'd be amazing. But prior to that, Bruce, I feel like you would have been coddling them all the time, like just hugging on them, loving on them, and you just can't do that. It just sets up this weird like mommy-daddy relationship with the dogs, where they start resource guarding you.
So I think you kind of are alluding to it, but someone just asked Harish. Maridia, I said that very wrong. Why are you so passionate and curious about Cane Corsos? Well, we have 2 Cane Corsos, And as Jason just said, 2 dogs of this size, of this breed, what they're capable of, can be so harmful. Not to mention, this is a super popular breed right now, and people want to get the dogs just because they look cool. And Jason's done a lot of work to educate people that not everyone should have this breed. They're a breed for us. They're fit for us and our lifestyle, but you're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Cautious with not just making them popular and saying, hey, everyone should have this dog. Everyone should not.
Yeah, we have a different lifestyle than a lot of people. We don't have kids. We have we're in a good spot where we can take care of them. We're not worried about vet bills. We have pet insurance. They're well taken care of. We've always loved dogs. Mm-hmm. We put a lot of time and energy into our dogs. I feel like every dog should have this amount of time and energy put into them.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is that's not the case.
Yep.
People have kids, life comes up. Even with us, life comes up and it's we haven't been doing as much with the dogs as we should be.
Yeah,
we have to kind of turn that around.
A lot of other commitments.
So how we do things is how I feel like everyone should do things. Mm-hmm. The attention you give your dogs, how you train your dogs. I mean, there's a million right ways to train your dog. I'm not trying to say train how we train.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. But I feel like dogs should get this type of attention, and when you have a dog like this that can kill someone and can do a lot of damage, there's extra responsibility that comes with that.
Right.
So we go above and beyond to make sure everything's kosher, essentially.
Yep.
All right, let's check out some of these. So Kat Connor says, spay and neuter is good, but you can do whatever you want with your dog. If you could expand on why it's good, I'd love to hear that. I highly disagree with you. Yes, Matt Barr, bad idea, 2 males, 1 female's big fights. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Which I don't understand why people don't see that. And even if your dog's neutered, they're still going to want to fight over that female. It just...
Yeah, that's nothing I want any part of.
Yeah. And even for fights, I'm almost positive if a fight broke out, I could stop it with my voice. But I have brake sticks and I have bear spray. I'd rather spray my dogs with bear spray and have their face and eyes burn for a day versus them destroying each other.
Right.
And then all these vet bills. So it's again, I always just try to be prepared. I'd rather have something and not need it than either a tool or information versus not have it and need it. So I'm always kind of just thinking of all the possibilities of everything that can happen.
Yeah.
Have 2 intact course. Okay, so Joshua says have 2 intact Corsos, 1-year male and 3-year-old female. Going to try vasectomy and ovary sparing spay. Awesome. They get along. Just hoping when he matures more, hopefully they still may be friends. That's definitely the better way to do things because now you're keeping their hormones intact. So they're not going to have hopefully they won't have the joint issues because also spaying and neutering can cause joint issues in your dog. Depression issues. If you take away your dog's hormones, it can cause depression in them, obviously, because now they have no hormones. Get these back on. Definitely a much better option than just your typical spay or neuter. And it's weird because I never hear anybody say that they're going to do that.
Yeah, I don't hear that either usually.
So Desktop Geek from the UK, he's got a 15-month Corso called Bear.
Oh.
Send him our love.
High vibrations. Sending it back.
Okay. Thanks, Dean. We have an American Bull Dane. He is a 3-year-old rescue. Had him 18 months. Love giant breeds. Giant breeds are the best.
How much does he weigh, Dean?
And also, people don't... I'm sure Dean realizes this, having a giant breed dog, like, unless you have a giant breed, like, everyone thinks only dogs all the same, and it's,
Yeah.
I've had big dogs before. I had Nikita who was under 15 pounds, but like a giant breed dog is just different. Like, they're built different, their joints are different, you have to take different care of them. It's just different.
Their mannerisms.
It's a lot more.
Desktop Geek had an English Mastiff for 7 years prior to owning a Cane Corso. It's an upgrade for sure. That's funny.
Hannah, I completely agree. I love them, but my lifestyle won't fit with one, therefore I won't get one. See, that's awesome that you're putting that thought forward versus just getting what you want, because they'll always be there. Like, your lifestyle now doesn't mean your lifestyle is going to be the same in 10 years from now, 5 years from now, even 2 years from now. So if your lifestyle ever changes and you want one, that's the time to get one.
I think that's what I appreciate most when people meet Jason and I with the dogs, and we often hear so many people are just amazed by how beautiful they are and how big they are and would love the breed. But we do hear a lot of times people say, it's just not right for me right now, maybe in the future. Either I travel a lot or I'm a first-time dog owner.
Definitely
It's nice to hear that people are acknowledging that stuff and understanding that you shouldn't just get a dog because of how it looks, or you really need to make sure everything matches up. It's only fair to the dog and for you.
Exactly, because all the dog has is you. Just remember that.
You don't want to be rehoming a dog. Like,
that's horrible. Yeah.
That's another thing that adds to those animal shelters. Like,
Justina is in every live.
That's awesome.
She's amazing.
That's
every
fine
live.
that you're late.
Better late than never. Thank you for joining.
Oh, I like this question. Sorry. Questions?
With your greasy fingers now?
No, it was just my fingernail tip. It wasn't my actual finger.
What was the question? Want to read it?
What would be your top 3 dog breeds? Where would a pug rank? And what would have to happen for you to get a pug?
I would never get a pug.
Large dog lovers.
Large dog lovers. Previous to Bruce, we had an English Bulldog, who was awesome. I loved him, but never again. She wanted another one after he passed. I'm like, no. And way too many health issues. Basically, it's only Cane Corsos for life from here on out. I love Akitas because I had one. I like English Mastiffs, but they're just not smart enough, and they drool way too much. Like, they drool a ton. So yeah, Cane Corso, and Akita.
What about an Irish Wolfhound?
I've never been around them.
I know.
I've seen them in person.
It's one of those dogs that looks cool, but again, like we just said, you can't get a dog because it looks cool.
Yeah.
But they look really cool. I'm interested to know more about that breed, I should say.
Yeah.
Pugs just make me sad because the
brachycephalic
syndrome. Yeah. Because it's worse than our bulldog. I remember Kyle's were awful. It's
it just leads to a lot of health issues.
Yeah.
Let me see. Kat Connors, did you ever consider adopting from a shelter? Yes, we did, but my big thing was...
we almost did.
She can vouch for it, is like, you don't know what you're getting. That's why I won't do it.
We almost did when it came to, we were going to, actually when we still had our English Bulldog, we were going to get a small dog. Yeah. If you recall, we were going to go with a shelter. When it came to looking for a Cane Corso, we did check out local shelters. Yeah. It's not, at least locally where we are, it's not a dog you typically find at a local shelter. They did have one that had...
But you don't know what you're getting. Like, a lot of these shelters will tell you, oh, it doesn't have any aggression issues. Well, how do you know? What happens if I have a Corso and in the 2 weeks is at the shelter has no issues, and then it has an issue with somebody wearing a hat, walks by somebody again wearing a hat, and then it takes off their arm. Yeah. That's just something I don't want to deal with.
Right.
And amazing for the people that want to adopt, but it's not for me. I want to be able to have a puppy from the start, raise it right, so it's the perfect canine companion that I want. Yeah. Because I don't want to adopt another dog's problems and have to work through those problems. And a lot of times you can't, it's working around the problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if you adopted a Corso, for example, and it had a history of biting someone. Sure, you can work with it and stuff and get rid of the aggression, but can you really fully trust that forever now? I'd say no.
And I have to say it's a little bit different when you're adopting a Chihuahua.
Yes,
from a shelter.
The dog we were looking at was a Chihuahua that we were going to adopt.
Corso. Do you know what I mean? So I do think the breed matters. and we can move on from this, but I just have to say, I don't think people that choose to get a dog from a breeder should be made to feel like a piece of poop because
Yep.
they choose to do so. There's
I know.
there's enough for everyone here.
When we got Bruce, and like I said,
People were
it's,
so
it's
mean.
amazing when people adopt. I love that.
Yeah.
It's just not for
We're
me.
not against it. Just,
So I remember people saying adopt, don't shop. So I'd be like, I hope you. Then they'd be like, there's so many dogs in shelters. So my rebuttal would always be, I hope you yourself don't breed and you have that same mindset,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of children
Adopt.
that are orphans that are crying on Christmas because they don't have presents, they don't have family loving them. So I hope these same people that are coming at you and me for saying adopt, don't shop, I hope these people are not breeding themselves and
Yeah.
adopting children.
choose to
and-
adopt or foster.
And usually that shuts them up and like, oh, I didn't think of it like that. You know?
And there is a parallel there, so.
Yeah. Again, it's amazing for people that adopt. I'm not trashing. I'm just saying it's just not for me. Okay, question. Do not want to socialize my dog with other dogs or people that are not normally around. What problems could this cause with the Canine Corso? I want them more protective of me and my property. Well, Arthur, I definitely would not do that. If you want, how do I explain it? A lot of people want their dog to be able to do everything, and that just can't be. You have to, if you want like a personal protection dog, you have to be training them as a personal protection dog from like when they're a puppy. And there's, so basically personal protection dogs usually they're like $30, $40, $50,000, and they weed out the dogs that wouldn't be a good fit for that job. So then they have to go through all their training and all that other stuff. And these dogs, they're not trained to be like a companion animal like Bruce. They're not brought to nursing homes to see the old people. You know, so you really got to figure out what's more important to you. And your dog isn't going to protect you unless you train it to protect you. That's the other myth. Everyone thinks that because I have a guard dog and is instinctively protective over me, it's going to protect me. It's not the case. Typically, it's an animal, so the first instinct is protect myself, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
It's a big myth that everyone thinks that their dog is going to like save their lives.
True.
So just things to think about, because if you do want your Corso to go in public, well, now it's not going to be socialized, which is a disaster waiting to happen. So just food for thought, a lot to think about with that decision, because that is a very big decision, and it will 100% affect the temperament of your Canine Corso, how they deal with things, all of that stuff.
Can I chime in?
Sure.
So even with Bruce and Justice, we've done obviously a lot of work to socialize both of them and continue to do so. But even still, they will bark when people arrive in the driveway, even if it's people they know. They bark when I come in the door at time, from time to time. Now, it depends what level of protection you're looking for. So are you just looking for someone that's going to bark and kind of notify you there's someone on the property? Are you looking for a dog to actually physically make an action? For us, I feel we still see that guardianship in them, that even though we've socialized them a ton, there's times we had someone doing work on the house today. There was no need for them to meet today. There was no need to have that social experiment for Bruce or Justice. It was a one-time thing. This guy's never come into the house again. It just wasn't, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze here.
Yep.
But we've had them meet a ton of people. But still, they're still going to bark. They're still going to notify us. They're still somewhat guarding and protective of their people and their land when people come in the driveway. So I just want to point that out, too.
Absolutely.
Just something to think about. They don't lose that bit of guardianship in them, at least that aspect.
Yes. Okay. Where are we? I hate how touchy this is.
I know. Try doing my lives. It goes
D.
so
Collins,
fast.
lots of Corsos, and because you're so cool, and I'm not.
No.
Lots of Corsos in Canine Rescue Centers here in the UK. Seems to be very fashionable breed. People don't know what they're letting themselves in for. People should watch your content first. I know, Dean. Like, so many people just get these dogs and think it's like, I've had a dog before. I know how to, and they're so quirky. It's not like, they're a very quirky breed. They're like a weird breed to raise. they're not like your normal breed, and you can screw them up super easy. That's one of the reasons why they're not for a first-time owner, because you don't want to be making mistakes while training these guys.
I was so scared to train
Actually,
these dogs.
check out, if anybody's thinking about getting a Cane Corso, we have amazing training courses linked in the description, but there's something called the Ultimate Breed Cane Corso course, which really goes into depth about like the weird quirks about Corsos that isn't typical of other breeds. And you save 10% using code Jason. Where are we at? I'll let you read the next one.
Oh.
It goes up easy. Okay.
I thought I had one, but I think I lost it.
You lost it?
Nick, his wife, and I have a littermate brother and sister, Pressa Canero, Bishop, and Bella. Love large breed mastiffs. Love you guys. Thanks, Nick. Beautiful dogs. Pressa Canero. Did I say that right?
Yeah. Nick, how old are your dogs? I'm curious.
Bye, Matt Barr. Thanks for joining us for a bit. 7-month-old Cane Corso is 61 pounds.
See, like Mr. Dodo, you have a guard or a tack dog or a pet. You have a guard dog or a tack dog or a pet. Very rarely do the two actually cross over well. See, that's what I was trying to say. Thank you. I'm not good with the words today.
No, you described it.
He said it perfect. You know, it's they learn a skill, and that's the skill that they know.
Use Mackenzie as an example.
They don't.
Mackenzie's mastiff.
Yeah, they don't have like reasoning ability like humans do. Like it's not the same. So where we go to doggy daycare, they have what kind of mastiff? A Spanish mastiff.
Spanish.
And they adopted it, and it had some aggression issues. And it's an outdoor dog. It lives outside, and its job is they give it a job. It looks over the animals. It looks over the chickens and looks over the goats. It's separated from all the other dogs. It doesn't come in contact with other people other than them because it is not a nice dog towards people.
Right.
And I don't want to say not a nice dog like, oh my God, that dog's mean. It's what it knows. It's
how it was raised.
How it was raised, and they adopted it. And instead of trying to change the behavior, which could be a very bad situation because they have a little girl who's like 5.
Not even.
Not even. You know, they just gave this dog a job.
Yep.
So now the dog lives happy. It's doing a job. It's looking after the chickens, the goats. It loves the immediate family, but it's outside. It's you know.
Yep.
So that's one thing that.
Probably living its best life.
Probably living its best life.
It's
yeah.
doing its job, and it's doing a great job. It's keeping those chickens alive, which can get eaten up very easily out in the farmland. So, just another example of guard attack dog versus pat.
Our female 7-month-old Cane Corso is reserved, indifferent with people she doesn't know, but we do socialize her. Yeah, just keep socializing her as much as you can, and it never stops. You know, you need to socialize them for life, essentially.
And it's okay that your dog doesn't like everyone or is indifferent with people.
Yeah, it's going to be,
Yeah.
It's not going to like everyone.
Just like we don't like everyone.
Yeah, and just like if your dog likes dogs, doesn't mean it's going to like every dog it meets.
Right.
You know?
Christian, is it in general true that the bigger the breed, the smarter they are? Are they let's call them mini dogs, actually smart?
See, I would like to think that because Bruce's head's big, his brain's big.
He's so smart.
But then you have English Mastiffs who are even bigger with bigger heads.
Yeah.
And they're just not very intelligent. And I'm not, anybody that has an English Mastiff, I'm not trashing your dog, but the intelligence level is much different. I do believe there's probably something with that because obviously you have a bird that's brains that's big, but then crows are really smart, right? Ravens are really smart. So I don't know. I saw some.
Never run from a Corso. I ran from a dog once and it bit my butt cheek. I learned the hard way.
I would never name my dog Dick Grayson, Robert. I hate Robin. It's instinct. Angela's got 3 Corsos.
Woo! I love that.
How old are they, Angela?
Bishop is a fond Bruce Wayne. I bet he's handsome.
Yes, Desktop Geek. They're a very sensitive breed.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get rid of this.
Sometimes too sensitive.
Okay.
Do you want to close it
I'm
out?
going to close the poll out.
Wait, how do we know what the results are?
I can look at them after.
Oh, cool.
Dog is growling when I go near him. Do you know something he can do? Doesn't snap, but just growls.
Okay.
So he's basically saying he's the boss. How old's your dog? Like, tell me his age. Give me stats on your dog. Is there any ranking system in the dog world when you have 2 to 3 dogs at a time? Or there will like a brother. This will help me understand dog behavior. Yes, there's a ranking system. So check out my pack hierarchy videos. Bruce basically goes me, then her, then Bruce, then Justice. That's how the dogs see it. So that's how we run things. So Bruce and Justice can eat at the same time, but Bruce gets his plate handed to him first. Bruce walks out the door first. Bruce walks in the door first. Bruce gets pet first. Bruce gets greeted first, like 98% of the time. Thank you, JMV, for the donation. Very much appreciated. Get the boys a treat. And Aunt, is that Jean?
Aunt Jean?
Jean? Love those beautiful boys. I live through you. Oh, that's very sweet of you.
For those pack hierarchy questions, you can go to Jason's YouTube channel. There's if you go to his main page, if you go to the search bar, Jason has so much content that's free that he's covered, so you can search in things. That'll give you some good baseline information for that stuff. And then if you need further, Jason's got all the tools for you in his description box too for all his training courses.
I'm sure I didn't. Yeah, check out these 3 videos.
Are you screen sharing or no?
Yeah, it's a different way they can read it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah.
And hear us.
Yep. So those will help you out.
Cool.
Kind of a little easier way to explain everything.
Oh, I dream of Jeannie. That's a perfect way to. I feel like when I'm on these lives, I lose ability to read names. Could you please talk adolescence and the stubbornness and boundary pushing that may come with this age? Dean Collins asks.
Basically, just up your obedience work and don't let them get away with anything. Like anything. Because, especially this breed, you give them an inch, they take a mile. Mm-hmm. Like, even like as an adult, you let them do one thing, it's like, oh, I'm going to push the limit. I'm going to push the limit. I'm going to push the limit. So. Even
with Bruce at his age.
Yeah.
If I tell him to sit and then he looks at me kind of like, I don't really want to sit, so I'm just going to keep standing here and hope she doesn't push it any further.
Yeah, you got to make sure you
I'll be like,
follow through 100%
sit.
on everything. Yeah. Especially at that age, that adolescent stage. Justice is like way more responsive than Bruce at this age.
Super responsive.
Like Justice is like
he's proud to respond.
Like he's a weird dog. Like he's a very weird dog. Like he didn't have a fear stage, which is extremely common in most dogs, especially Canine Corsos. Like there's usually a couple. Didn't have that.
Yeah.
Didn't really go through like I'm gonna push the limit stage.
No.
Like at all. And his hormonal stage was just really quick. And then he was like very slow to develop, like how he looks.
And he still has his puppy bark.
His voice ain't never changed. I'm changing his name to Mike Tyson. That's what I'm gonna change it to because he's like jacked. He's like this jacked dog with his high pitched voice. So yeah, just be patient. It'll seem like sometimes all of a sudden they forget everything you taught them. Mm-hmm. Don't set yourself up for failure. So for example, Bruce Wayne. Training him, we'd call him in from the backyard, and he'd be like, yeah, I want to come in. I'm going to just want to run from you.
Oh, that was the worst.
It's a big game. And if you play into that game, it gets worse and worse and worse. And what made it so bad, I think, is because we had somebody that come out and watch the dogs, and then she'd be like, Bruce likes to play keep away. And I think because of that, it ingrained it in his mind even more.
That was a game to play.
Justice never did that. I call Justice and he just comes flying. It's almost like this. It's on her. I don't even finish the command if we're like he's off leash. Just the J starts coming in my mouth, and he's like, "What?" Comes right back.
I feel like I go to say Jason, and he's ready to respond.
Yeah.
He's on that J. The no I throw.
What's that?
The no I throws people off. Yeah, JMV, you should hear Jason's no when he's in serious mode.
Yeah, it's loud.
It'll scare the living daylights out of you.
It's like super loud.
It catches me off guard if I don't know he's about to throw a no out to the dogs.
I've been trying to be better since she is home all the time now.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm gonna yell a loud no. Unless it's like it has. A lot of the times your no has to be, as I'm sure JMV realizes, like if it's a correction, it has to be like perfectly on point, which is why I can't always. But if they're like kind of doing something I don't want them to do, I'll like warn her.
Yeah.
Conning course and apartment okay, as long as you have a lot of space for them to run around outside, as long as you don't care about being outside for hours and hours every single day, to make sure they have the proper time and space and energy expenditure. It can be done. It's just going to be a lot more work. In the house, we don't allow them to run around.
Yeah.
They have like a small carpeted area, maybe like 10 feet by 5 feet. Because we have hardwoods, we don't want them to get hurt. So that's the only place they're allowed to play.
Dang, Desktop Geek, thank you.
So they play on that, and that's about it. A couple carpeted areas, no running in the house, no like hard horseplay in the house, that type of thing.
It's gonna buy the dogs some kidneys tonight.
Oh, thanks, Desktop Geek. Very kind of you. Yes, I was just saying we gotta go get some organ meat for the dogs. We have no kidney. We only got liver.
What's Bruce's current weight? Some troll was trying to say he's 250. I love that there's a troll talking about our dog.
Donald is correct. He's 155. Winter weight's about 160.
Do you want to let them know about Tuesday? You're going to have some content coming from that.
Oh, yeah. So Bruce is having some spinal issues. It was like a genetic thing. So as you know, he had kidney stones. So they x-rayed his abdomen, but along his abdomen was also where his tail is.
Yep.
And like there was like almost like that last vertebrae fused or something like that. Yeah. That's why he's sitting slower. And we didn't really see it because he's so young, but now he's like middle age. So now we're seeing it more. So we started acupuncture with him. He did one session, and it was like, oh my God. It made a massive difference.
Right.
Massive difference. So Tuesday we go back for a second appointment for acupuncture, and I'm going to document it. I asked, I'm like, hey, can I film this? She's like, yeah, sure. So I'm going to film that, so make sure you guys have notifications turned on so you don't miss that, because anything... I'm all about the holistic care and not having to give our dogs drugs if we don't have to.
Yep.
So the more that I learn, the more I can share with you, and maybe something I'm doing can help you guys out.
Yeah.
We do give Bruce a lot of like right now he's going through it's called the spring cleanup protocol for allergies. He has horrible allergies.
Yeah.
Horrible. So we were using a company called Adored Beast Apothecary. Is that how you say it? Anyways, we were using their stuff, and I bought some of their stuff, and it made a big difference in what I was using it for in Bruce. I'm like, this is amazing. So I reached out to them and, hey, can I be an affiliate? Because I only back things I believe in. So I'm affiliate with them now. Right now, Bruce is going through his allergy treatment. So it's not like an overnight thing. You got to start with like one supplement, give that to him for a set amount of time, then the next one. So if you guys want to try it, there is a link in the description box for that with a discount code. I will document and tell you the results after. I don't know if it will help his seasonal allergies. He has horrible seasonal allergies. He'll just go outside, he'll start sneezing, his eyes will get all leaky. So I know it's not a food thing. Food-wise, he doesn't do well in chicken either. His coat gets dry. Yeah. But his allergies are seasonal related. Who's your favorite UFC fighter? John Jones. We met him like 4 times.
Johnny Bones.
And he actually was born very close to us. My 2-year-old Corso's marking the house like crazy. Any help? Start from scratch with your obedience work. That will probably help. A lot of drills. A lot of drills. Correct at any time you actually see it happen. Obviously, if you're not in the room and then he peed somewhere, you can't correct that behavior because it already happened. But definitely, if you see it, make sure he knows he cannot be doing that. I can't really see that well right now. Can you read that? This one. Or give me another question. It's hard for me to see right now. Just read the next question.
All right. Have you ever heard of Inukshuk dog food? Inuk.
Is it kibble?
Probably, yeah. Probably, I would guess.
So no shame in people that feed kibble. I'm going to state that first. A lot of people don't want to feed raw. They don't want to deal with the raw meat. They don't want to deal with how much time it takes to prep raw meals. They don't want to deal with learning about feeding a raw diet because you have to understand what you're doing. But with that being said, my feeling is kibble is crap. It doesn't matter if it's a high-end kibble, a low-end kibble. Most of it's I feel like all of it's garbage. It'd be like eating processed food your whole life. I eat extremely healthy. I try to eat as many whole foods as I can, and it's the same for our dogs. Processed food is processed food. It's stripped of nutrients. It is, a lot of times if you notice, if there's a dog food recall, it's not just one brand. It is a ton of brands because there's only so many manufacturers in the United States, for example, for kibble. Mm-hmm. So all these dog foods are manufactured in the same plants. So if they have one that gets contaminated and a dog gets sick, it's most likely in all of the dog food. Then they have to recall everything. Mm-hmm. So I am not the person to ask a kibble recommendation because that's always going to be my answer. So I just can't recommend any kibble. Mm-hmm. I'm always about a species appropriate diet.
H&H Python says their girl Sava does the runaway play thing and she's still small enough she can go under one of our non-working 250 Fords, so that's a pain to get her out. That just reminds me of JJ because he used to crawl under our desk.
Oh my God! He smells something in there. He's so curious. That's the other thing with JJ. He's the most curious dog I've ever met. Curious to an annoyance almost sometimes. Yeah.
So he would crawl under our deck and then be like under there, like not figuring out how to get out of there. Yeah. We had to block him off.
We have a 5-month-old cunning person named Ruger. Say hi to Ruger for us. He does not like getting in the car and puts up a fight due to getting car sickness a few times.
Oh, okay.
Any suggestions other than picking him up? Well, the car sickness, he's 5 months. A lot of times their inner ear isn't developed yet. And your inner ear is like, gives you that sense of balance. So like, I don't know if anybody's had any like a really bad ear infection, for example. Like I remember I was like 11th grade. I had the worst ear infection. And it was when me and Tim were always playing basketball, skateboarding, and I couldn't even shoot hoops because I was just like, felt like I had vertigo. I was like all over the place. And since that inner ear isn't developed, it can cause a lot of car sickness issues. Hopefully he'll grow out of it. Other than that, you can try CBD. Colorado Sun. I'll show you one right here. Let me pull it up. I am not an affiliate, but I do love their CBD. I'll pull this link up and just tell them I sent you. Hemp CBD. It's a small mom and pop company out of Colorado. We use it. I do not give the dogs the full dose because it snowballs them and they will be zombified. It super mellows them out like too much. So
yeah, they don't need much, so it'll last you a while.
It's expensive, but it's definitely the best CBD.
That's true. Get the one that works. That's absolutely true.
Yes. You get what you pay for. Do not price shop when it comes to CBD. Do not price shop. Thank you, Jolene. Very kind of you.
Sweet.
Thank you.
That's super cute.
Much appreciated. Just don't price shop with CBD. I'm not saying that's the best stuff in the world, but it's the best stuff that I've tried. We used to use another brand that worked very well, but the company is no longer. We've tried a couple other CBDs that didn't really do much. So I started giving Bruce the Colorado Sun because I'm friends with the pet nutritionist and she was telling me to try it out. She reached out to them and they actually sent it to me for free, so I didn't buy it. Just putting that out there. So I'm like, yeah, I'll try it out, see how it works. And I was amazed. I would give it to Bruce at night. And then I started noticing in the morning he had like an extra pep in his step.
Yeah,
I'm like, you notice like
sure.
Bruce is like
super happy,
extra,
ready to take on
like
the day.
super happy, and like I was saying, he's got that like issue with his spine, so he's a little slower. He's like jumping up and down and stuff. So yeah, it's at least for our dogs, it works well. It mellows JJ out. If like I need him to be chill and it was to give it to him, it would definitely mellow him out.
You and Desktop Geek, I feel like, would be BFFs in real life.
I think we would be too.
Would we ever get a Canine Corso that was not black? Cat wants to know.
Of course.
Yeah. Don't choose a dog based on color.
Actually, I'd have a video. Kat, check out my video, Canine Corso color and lifespan. Color matters. And also, the black ones tend to be like more muscular and bigger, according to our breeder and a couple other breeders I've talked to. Just something genetic. I can't remember. I believe the brindle has the longest life expectancy.
I feel like that's what you told me.
By maybe like an extra year. Don't quote me on that. All the info's in the video.
I remember you saying that.
So color actually does matter. And I remember before the internet was really the internet, so it was a lot harder to find information, right? We had our English Bulldog, he's all white. Somebody's like, oh, you have an all white English Bulldog, you're in for some issues now. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that wouldn't matter. He's like, yeah, white ones are usually tend to have more health issues. And
he was correct.
He was actually correct. And I just thought he was crazy. I'm like, okay, bro.
Yeah. Black brindle, longest lifespan, says Desktop Geek.
Justina says, Castillos, we won't breed Bruce. He only has one testicle didn't descend. So he's not neutered, but we had to get the one in his abdomen that didn't descend removed, and that can be passed on genetically. So no, we won't ever breed Bruce. Possibly Justice. Desktop Geek, do you use salmon oil? I was using krill oil for a while, salmon oil for a while. We don't really use it too often. We have a fresh fish truck that parks down the road at the farm once a week, and I always go there to buy fish for me, and she hooks us up with like 5 to 8 pounds of salmon for the dogs, like for free.
Yeah.
So once a week, we basically give them like salmon's the one food I won't feed raw. I will if it's been frozen for like a deep freezer for a minimum of 2 weeks, but I typically cook it. The dogs like it cooked more anyways. I throw just like 4 pounds in the air fryer, 5 pounds in the air fryer, and just crisp it up and give it to them.
They love it.
It's crispy on the outside, and because it's air fried, it doesn't like dry it out inside, so it still has all the oil and the fat and stuff like that. So they get salmon oil like that, and then on top of it, we give them sardines as well. We aren't giving Bruce any allergy medicine. We are doing an allergy protocol with him right now. I'm gonna pull up the company for you guys.
Good idea.
And check out the description box because I have a link in there. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to my video and pull it up. Let me go. Just give me a second, guys. Oh my God! You guys need to watch a hilarious video. By the way, hold on.
Don't forget to like this video as well while Jason's pulling that up for you. It helps the channel quite a bit.
Let me find it. Well, my link here isn't working proper. So let me text it to myself, and I'll pull it up that way. Sorry, guys. Kara, you take over with a question while I do this.
Dang, my podcast name wasn't the most popular so far. Leave it here or go back into the...
Go back to Streamlabs and just...
Okay.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
We lost a light and...
Okay. So let me just pull up something quick for you all. Where is messages? Google messages. Message by Google. Message for web. And it sent the wrong one. God, I'm stupid. Sorry, guys. trying to help you all out and help myself out here.
There's a lot going on running live.
Copy. Especially when you're doing all the stuff.
All the things.
All the things. Okay.
Here we go.
So, I'm going to screen share this with you all. So, we got, you can hear me though, right? Yeah, I can see my mic lighting up. Adored Beast Apothecary? Is that how you say that?
Mm-hmm. Apothecary table.
Apothecary table, okay. So, so you can go to allergies right here, and it's going to show you a bunch of allergy stuff. Right now, we are doing the leaky gut protocol and the yeasty beast protocol for their allergies.
They suggest doing yeasty beast
So
first.
we're doing yeasty beast first. We're going through this one first, and when we get through this, we're going to go through this one. And it gives you like instructions. I don't know if it gives it here or not, but it gives you instructions here, and it gives you instructions in the box on what to do. It's all natural, it's holistic. It's definitely the safest way to go if you don't want to give your dog any type of drugs. And you do if you use my, let me find it here. I don't know if you get a discount or not. I don't think it gives you a discount, but use my link. Much appreciated. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my link in the chat box. Livestream. Let me go to my name because it's not working there. I'm gonna
have it open on my YouTube if you want.
Ain't gonna help me.
Oh.
It's on a different device. Let me go to me. So guys, here is the link if you guys are interested.
Mm-hmm.
Much appreciated. I get like 10%. So, really quick, one more thing to plug. You guys want to laugh? Go watch this video. It's really funny. It's legit funny. My dog reacts to helium. It's amazing. And what's more amazing is how they're responding to our helium voice. Like, they don't... That was Bruce stepped on my balls. Like, they're, like, so excited with us. We're talking in helium voice there. And they... Watch how fast they respond. They're just like, okay... It's insane. So check out that video. It's a fun one. It'll make you guys laugh. JMV, another $5. If you missed the info, can you please tell me when you're doing lives? Thank you so much. I was doing lives once a week, and now we kind of want to start like a podcast style like this, but it's going to be more refined than this. Trust me. It'll be more podcast style where you guys can also answer questions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why my PC keeps losing internet connection, so we're using the laptop. So everything, like when we're ready to go live, it was a pain in the butt. So JMV, the best thing I can say is go to, why did that post there? Anyways.
We'll fix that after.
Go to, just follow me on Instagram. I'll usually post prior to going live.
Yeah.
We did it last minute today because I knew it was kind of just going to be thrown together. When it's more like set up with a better idea and flow, we'll give you guys like a day notice. And what I'll also do is I need to start putting it in the community tab on YouTube, just saying, hey guys, I'm going to be live tomorrow, for example.
Also,
thank you, Mr. Dodo.
Does post notifications let you know when someone's going live? If you do the post notification bell for all notifications?
It does. So if you hit the...
If you aren't already.
Yeah, if you hit the post notification bell, it will also let you know when I'm live. But also there's that link. Thank you for letting me know, guys. That doesn't always work. Like, I have post notifications on for hers, just so I can, because I'm the one that uploads her videos, edits her videos, all that stuff. So I need to make sure it goes up. And I never, ever, ever get notified that you have a video going up.
I know, it's
ever.
Weird.
And you, same for me, right?
Yeah.
So.
Do you have Discord?
I have Discord.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Arthur wants to know if you could do a Discord link as well, so our podcast can have a guest voice, not just chat.
I don't have a Discord room. I think, man, do I have access to this Discord? I'm thinking about starting a Discord, Let me all know if you guys want me to start a Discord. I can do that. She has a Discord called Buff Bunny Babes.
We do have a pet channel in there, but it's more so just showing sweet pet photos.
How many people are in your Discord?
2,177.
Yeah, she's got a big Discord. She's a lot cooler than me.
No, I'm not. I'm a lot smaller than you.
You are. I'm also standing on here. I'm standing. This is how tall we are. She's 5'1". I'm 5'9".
Actually, I'm even shorter. I'm wearing shoes.
Okay. Stand
I'm
straight.
here.
She's 5'1"3/4". I'll give you that 3/4 inch. Every inch matters, guys. Kat Connors, I have an Xbox. Yes, I play. I haven't played too much. I was playing Call of Duty. I played a lot of Gears of War. Right now I'm playing Zelda, though, on the Switch. The new Zelda. That's what I'm basically playing until I get through it. See, Desktop Geek wasn't notified. What is up with that, YouTube?
So rude.
Fix your stuff. People are missing the podcast. Desktop Geek. See? We're besties. We're the same height. Our wives are the same. I'm just probably a lot older than you, I'm guessing. Yes. All right. Any other questions before we hop off here? And Mr. Dodo wants a Discord. All right. I'll see if I can get that going. See, I know I was talking about some big news. The big news is she quit her job. So I've been trying to get her to quit for years.
Yeah.
So now it's the Corey crew all together all the time. So it's much easier to get stuff done.
It's like an interesting transition phase right now, though, because I'm trying to help out so you can get more done, but at the same time...
She's trying to figure out her stuff.
But it also feels like we're on vacation, so we want to go do all the things together.
Yeah.
So I feel like we both would think we'd have so much more content at this point in time, but we're also establishing, I think, our relationship and like
let's go do this
together.
It's like when you diet really hard, and then you want to eat all the food. Even though you have your whole life to eat all the food, this is the comparison I was giving her. You've been dieting for weeks, right? Like, I know this because she's a pro bikini competitor. So she'd diet, do her show, then she'd want all the foods because of the fact that you've just been so restrictive. So now her life was so restrictive because she was gone for 50 hours a week, and then she'd get home at night, and I go to bed 8:30 to 9:30 typically, so she'd spend time with the dogs, and I'm on the couch like half asleep. We'd never get time together.
Right.
So now it's like she wants to help me succeed. I want to help her succeed in her stuff, but we want to like go on bike rides and do fun things and be a couple again and have a life. So it's like we're not putting out quite as much content as we want to. But we will get there.
We will eventually.
We will eventually.
I realized one of my important goals, in addition to quitting my job and like finding myself this year, is also just like focusing on our relationship and like making our relationship better. And like,
which has always been good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but like making it better, and obviously we have to like change our communication style a bit now for working at home together and kind of navigating the schedule and things like that. So it is a bit of a transition.
Like our kitchen's really small, and yes, I'm like, we need a rule where somebody's cooking, the other person can't just be chilling in the kitchen on their phone, because if not, it's like, please move. Then you move over here, and now I got to be there. It's like, please move. Now she's over here, and I got to be over here. I'm like, please move.
Break out the Arnold
so
voice.
it's, instead of getting annoyed with each other, it's like, all right, somebody's cooking or prepping the dog's food, and you're not doing either of the two, then that person can't be in the kitchen.
Get out of here.
Just little things like that. Desktop Geek's around my age too. He's 49. I just turned 45. See, we're besties, best bros.
Those are my cookies.
You can't half-ass it. Give it. Now you got to go hardcore. You're Arnold. Go Arnold.
What am I saying? What line?
Do the jingle all the way line. Those are my cookies.
Those are my cookies. Who's gonna know that line?
Wizard of Oz, give me the lion.
Get out of here.
Give me the lion.
If I was the king of the whole world.
She used to be so good at it. What happened to you?
I can't do it under pressure.
Come here, bro. You need to practice that. She used to be perfect at that. Thanks, Kate. Kat, Connors, have a good day yourself. People can see him. I'll move out of the way.
Oh, we fell.
so it gets in focus.
We fell. We fell. Sweet baby JJ.
Tug a little bit. I don't know how Lulu and Tug are doing. No clue. Thanks for joining, Justina. Very much appreciated. We may see.
We should see Lulu and Tugboat.
No, like I said, like we gotta do things different now because the dogs hit maturity. I'm not gonna allow Justice and Bruce and Tug, 3 males around a female. That's gonna cause fights. But it was different when they were puppies.
I feel we should just get Justice together with Tug.
Yes, that'd be good. Where's Bruce?
He's chilling like a villain, yo.
Well, Bruce is probably on the couch sleeping. Went to the gym with the boys today. See? Justina didn't get the notification either. What is going on, YouTube? YouTube is failing us. Alright guys, we will do more lives. Thank you for joining. Much appreciated. Thank you for everyone that donated. It helps us so much. Gonna use it to feed the boys. And until